Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone, in both the analog and digital world. Welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I have a wish list of games that I will probably never buy, but heck, some of them are free. Most of the games I've been playing recently are free. But these are just games that have caught my attention. So maybe one day I'll play one of these games, probably for a Let's Play. But that's the thing, it's always free to add games to your wish list. But yeah, these are just games that have caught my attention. That I've come across and I thought, that looks like it could be good for a Let's Play. Plus, in general, just a very interesting game. Though, as you can tell, the bar for what piques my interest really tends to vary on the whole, it's free. It's a free video game. But there's plenty of games that are very expensive that I'm like, I will probably never buy this. Heck, I would say a majority, if not 99% of all the games I've ever bought on Steam, I bought at like an 80% discount. And most of the games are already fairly cheaper games. They weren't like AAA games, like 50 to 70 or $100. Most games the normal price was like 20 or 15, and I was able to buy for like $2 or $3. And a great deal of games were completely free. But yeah, these are just games I thought were interesting. Heck, I made a video a couple weeks ago showing all the videos that I've uploaded to YouTube. It took like an hour and a half just to scroll through. I wasn't even reading everything, I was just slowly scrolling through at about this speed. But when I have close to 3,200 videos, I guess that makes sense it would take a while. You know what I'd like to see? You guys know the Nemesis system from Shadow of War? I'd like to see that in other games. Heck, what if you made a Senran Kagura game? But, you know, there's no violence or murder. Like, there's still the sword stuff in it, but there's no blood. And it works like a Senran Kagura game, except you have the Nemesis system. Except now it's of anime girls instead of orcs. Also, like instead of executions, you're like giving people head pats. Instead of shooting arrows at people, you throw stuffed animals at them. Instead of stealth kills, you like show up behind them and hand them a manga. You know, cutesy stuff that may or may not be heavy on fan service. Heck, in general, I think it'd be cool not only to have other game companies and games be able to use the Nemesis system. It's really a shame that it's been patented. I mean, either use the system that you patented or sell it. I'm not saying you have to release the patent, I'm just saying Allow other people to use the patented system, and then just charge them a fee. I'm just saying there's so many other games that could benefit. Imagine a Bloodborne game, but you know, the Nemesis system. But heck, just take Shadow of War itself, and allow the modding community to go insane. Imagine if like you could make an entire, like, you know, like a lot of the Mordor areas, you have Minas Morgul, and then you have like, okay, here's a normal, old school looking, you know, environment from Shadow of War, and then there's like, hey, here's a place that's lava. Here's a place that's really foresty. Yes, I'm making foresty a word. Or, you know, here's a place that's, hey, look, there's ice everywhere. At that point, we're going like Mario 3. You know, here's Big World, here's Pipe Maze World, here's the Koopa Castle. You know, here's Sky World. Heck, what if you had, what if you made a one-for-one replica, a full-scale replica of the entire city of Tokyo? And what if that's the only thing you changed? Like, just, you're doing Shadow of War in Tokyo. And I'm not talking like, oh, you're doing with Japanese people, and like, no, you don't. In this situation, you didn't change anything else. Only thing that happened is that instead of running around like old medieval-looking buildings, you're running around like modern-day Tokyo. You're like fighting orcs in an office, or in the middle of the street, or you're like in a field of cherry blossom trees. How fucking cool would that be? Or what if you like plugged in all the orcs to like Chat GPT, or like that AI Grok stuff that's like Elon Musk's been making more Twitter stuff. I mean, not more artificial intelligence. I'm just saying, what if you plugged in artificial intelligence into the orcs and let the AI decide what the orcs say? Or just in general, like back to the Japanese thing. What if you just had a bunch of anime characters everywhere? Heck. And if everyone could do mods, it'd be chaotic. There'd be no structure to it. Of course, you'd have like set certain mod groups, like, okay, here's certain anime characters. But then you could have just anyone, so all of a sudden you're just fighting, and all of a sudden it's Master Chief, or it's Astolfo, or it's Yujiro Hanma, or, you know, Goku, or Mickey Mouse, or Cloud Strife, or Spyro the Dragon. Heck, I still think it'd be cool to have Raging Golden Eagle, as well as all of the people that Raging Golden Eagle would trust. Like, he's got this artist guy that works merry-go-round. Though, I can think of plenty of other people I'd want to be involved in the project. But main thing is, like, imagine Raging Golden Eagle redid Pokemon. And what happened in Pokemon is, what if it was a redo of the original seasons of Pokemon? You know, Kanto, Indigo, Orange Islands, and Johto, but also include the first two movies of, you know, the Mewtwo movie, as well as the Pokemon 2000 movie with Lugia, as well as the two mini movies that started before each of those things. And what if it wasn't like, none of those things were treated as movies, they were just treated as part of episodes? And we go through all that stuff, but the main changes I would have RG make, aside from any creative changes he thought would be cool, one, the show should be more mature. Now, I don't want it to be a hentai, and I don't want it to be like levels of violence like Berserk. I want it to be the same maturity level as, say, Bleach, or One Piece, or Naruto. But I want it to be a little more mature than what it was. But here's the thing. I want the start of the journey to be Ash and Misty are 20, Brock and Tracy are, well, Brock's 23, Tracy's 22. And by the time I meet Tracy, they're 21. Ash and Misty, anyway. Jesse and James are 26 when they meet everybody. Anyway, and Jesse and James are still like comedic villains when they get introduced to the show. Anyway, what happens here is you have different changes, you know. we might not go as extreme to say a Scyther cutting a Mr. Mime in half or something. But I'm just saying we might get a little more fan service with the Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies. Yes, I find the Nurse Joys and the Officer Jennies and Jessie to be very, very hot. Though yes, I'm not going to lie to everyone. Futanari Jessie. That's... Then again, I also like Jessica from Dragon Quest VIII. But imagining her with a dick and balls. This is now devolved into listening to me talk about how much I love boobs and how much I like cock and balls. And pretty faces. And anime characters. And video games. Also, awesome music. Heck, I like Rammstein, Pokemon soundtracks, Dragon Ball Z soundtracks, Final Fantasy soundtracks, Disturbed, System Down, Korn. Okay, focus. Anyway, main point is this. When you get to the Orange Islands leagues, like at the end of the Orange Island leagues, on Ash's way back to Pallet Town to give Professor Oak the GS ball, that's when you have the Lugia movie occur. And during that, remember, there's a scene where Jesse and James sacrifice themselves. They become good guys. They even build a raft. Well, they use the inflatable raft with like a giant fan or something, and they assist Ash Ketchum. And they're helping him. And later on, they're having to ride on Lugia with him, and they realize they're weighing Lugia down. And that Ash and Lugia aren't going to make it if they hold on. So they decide as a group to let go and sacrifice their lives because they know that the water in the ocean below them normally will probably, they know it's frozen. So they know if they fall, it's going to be like going splat from a skyscraper into a concrete. So they expect to die. And so Meowth, Jesse, and James all let go, basically ready to die, sacrificing their lives for the greater good and for Ash. But the Pokemon below see this, they break a hole in the ice, and they even cushion their fall, saving their lives. Now, of course, and for a while there, they're considering maybe they're good guys now, but toward the end of it, they're like, oh no, our boss will be so upset with us and all that shit. But I don't want that. The main change I want RGE to make is that at this point, I want them to decide, once and for all, to be good guys, forever. And so from that point on, Jesse and James not only are legitimate good guys, but they're full-on protagonists. And they're now best friends with Ash Ketchum. And they're even like Misty and Brock are sleeping in the woods with Ash. I want Jesse and James to be doing the same. Jesse, James, Meowth to be sleeping in the woods with Ash and Misty and Brock. And I want them all to basically be best friends. Traveling together. To where like Jesse and James are best friends with Ash Ketchum, and they're also best friends with Misty and Brock. And they're also no longer there for comedy. They're not, silly sideshow humor. No, they're treated as serious in the same regard as Ash is. Because Ash still has some comedy bits here and there. But I want them to be treated as literal protagonists, literal good guys, as serious characters that are not there for just gags. However, at this point, Giovanni, the rest of Team Rocket, now become the veil is sort of lifted, and Team Rocket is revealed to be a lot darker than what people thought, and that it was just seemed to be a little more lighthearted because Jesse and James were never really bad people. They were just people in an awkward situation who were trying to do the best they could with what they was, and they were basically being misled and used. And part of this will be a journey of Jesse and James actually understanding how evil Team Rocket is. Because for their perspective, it was just like, yeah, we're a little street gang, and we're gonna do some graffiti and steal stop signs and watch Jay Schlatt videos. And then they're gonna realize that, holy shit, that's not what Giovanni's about. He's about like crashing planes into towers and actual murder and slavery and prostitution and torture. And again, I don't want it to go too dark. But I mean, Bleach and One Piece at least hit on these subjects a bit. I just don't want them to be as graphic about it as, say, Berserk. The main point being is I still want it to be at least Y17 at the rating. Because here's the thing. Pokemon is a Y7. You know, you're meant to be like a 7-year-old. I want this to be like, you should be at least expected to be a 17-year-old, okay? But I don't want it to be a hentai. And I don't want it to be, you know, overly violent. But I want it to be more serious. And of course, a good deal of things would have to be changed. I would say whatever is the minimum amount that they would have to be changed in order for Nintendo to not be able to sue RG, Raging Golden Eagle. Then again, I would think a lot of video game remakes would benefit if they were overseen by Raging Golden Eagle. Like, say, the Dragon Quest remakes, or Senran Kagura. I'm trying to think of other examples. Just saying, there's a lot of games that I feel, and animes that I think RG would be of benefit. Heck, take Silent Hill 2. With the remake of Silent Hill 2, I feel like if from beginning to end, if Raging Golden Eagle was a prominent voice in the decision-making of that game, I think it would be... I think he could have made it both a much more aesthetically pleasing game, but also a much more scary game, and a much more enjoyable game. Now that being said, I do want to emphasize that I do think that the original Silent Hill 2 was actually very, very good. Heck, I still want a Brave Fencer Musashi 3 and a Mega Man Legends 3. And that's the thing, it's like, I think the main reason why people wanted a Silent Hill 2 remake is because, well, they just remembered really enjoying the game and how special and how deep the story was and how special and deep the experience was. And they were like, one, they want to like sort of chase that dragon, you know, chase that high again. Like with Dragon Quest VIII, like, hey, I want to enjoy a good story, I want good gameplay, I want boobies, I want fan service, I want cute anime girls, I want awesome, beautiful environments, I want kick-ass soundtracks. It's people wanting to, they remember having good, happy experiences that were really a lot of fun, and they felt helped expand their horizons as a person, to help them think and just be more who they are, to become the person they became. That they feel a lot of these games they played, like the stories, like imagine thinking about the times you played Final Fantasy IX. Not only the experiencing the characters, the aesthetics, the art, the music, and the gameplay, but even just the story itself. You do feel like the story overall may have had an impact on shaping your personality to a degree. I don't know, maybe I'm giving it too much credit. But the main point is, like, I'm just saying a good story sticks with you. Like, you ever sit down and read a book and you really enjoyed it? And the story just sticks with you as something you think about sometimes? Heck, you ever go back and reread a story a second time? I think a lot of times people want remakes because they want to experience those happy feelings they had. Heck, sometimes you play a game just because you want to turn your brain off. You don't want to think about the chaotic shit going on in the world, and you don't want to be like preached at for anything. You just want to play a game and have fun. You just want to be happy. You just want to relax. You just want to be able to chill out. But at the same time, it's just, you remember the games having such awesome music and cool art and characters you really thought were cool. And you really enjoyed the game, and it was so much fun. And you just like, I want to have fun again. And also you look at other people and you're like, I want them to have fun too. I feel like this experience was so happy and special for me that I want to share it with other people. That I want everyone to be happy. It's like you drink an ice cold Pepsi, you're like, this is delicious. Everyone needs to try this. It tastes so good. Because at the end of the day, you're like, I want to drink another ice cold Pepsi. This Pepsi was good, I want another Pepsi. And you just want to have a good Pepsi, and you want other... Oh, this game has a... Yes, that has a really cool soundtrack. Yes 1, Yes 2. I've shared that a few times with you guys. It's a really cool soundtrack. So I really like the video game. Yes, I know I'm a weeb. It's like Lunar D8's such a nerd. He's such an otaku. He listens to video game soundtracks. So what? I like music. And yes, it's music, and it's good music. It's better than a lot of other music, okay? Then I listen to a lot of variety of music. Heck, one time I described my musical taste to someone. I said, I like eclectic music. And they're like, do you mean electric? Like, no. Eclectic means I like a variety of taste in music. I really like music and art. And that's the thing. I think that's the main thing with the remakes is that people, I don't even want to call it nostalgia. It's just people remember playing a video game and just how memorable and amazing that experience was. And they want to experience that same sort of high again. Like it's like it's a fucking drug high. But people, they want to experience that again. They want to experience the happy feelings. They want to experience the roller coaster adrenaline, the scary games. They want to have a cool story. They want to be able to relax. They want cool music. They want an immersive game they can sink into, like Sword Art Online or Yggdrasil from Overlord. Same way with really great anime. At the end of the day, is this: people just want video games and anime that they enjoy. They don't give a shit what other people think about it. It's like, oh, why do I need to care what you think about, like, oh, this video game has a character whose boobs are too big and that's sexist. I don't care. I like the big jiggly titties, okay? It's like, I don't need your fucking approval to enjoy the game. I just want the game that I enjoy. If I have a game that I enjoy and I legitimately enjoy it, even if someone else doesn't approve of it, I'm not going to stop enjoying the game. Because there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, that's the end of the list. Okay, I'm gonna end the video. 22 minutes. Okay, yeah, like I said, I made a video showing through all the video games, all the videos I've made on YouTube. Heck, recently I did a cover of the song Shame by System Down and Wu-Tang Clan. Hey, I'll probably get more into the Higurashi game. I'll record part 4 here at some point soon. Probably later today. Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful day, and I hope everyone out there has all the hugs and head pats you could ever need. Yeah, just bye everybody. I can't remember what a hug feels like.